What if I told you that after the age of 60, one simple daily habit could slash your risk of cancer, muscle loss, and even dementia? Sounds impossible, right? Yet modern science is uncovering that a single change in your everyday routine may act like a master key, unlocking protection against almost every age-related disease we fear the most. Imagine living past 80 with strong legs, sharp memory, and freedom from chronic pain, while others your age struggle with walkers, hospital visits, and endless prescriptions. The truth is, seniors over 60 are often told it's normal to decline. But new studies reveal that decline is not destiny. The body has built-in defense systems, and one specific habit can switch them on like a light. This isn't another fad diet or miracle pill. It's a scientifically backed daily practice that fuels your cells, lowers inflammation, and even reverses hidden damage already happening inside your brain and muscles. Today, we're exposing the lies that aging automatically means weakness, disease, and decline, and showing you how one daily ritual could erase up to 90% of the risk factors dragging seniors toward cancer, sarcopenia, and dementia. And the best part? You can start it today without a doctor's prescription. The first daily habit, simple yet life-changing for anyone over 60, is a brisk morning walk. At first, it may sound too ordinary to protect you from cancer, sarcopenia, or dementia, but science tells a different story. Moving your body within. The first hour after waking does far more than stretch your muscles. It ignites your circulation, floods your brain with oxygen, and switches on cellular repair systems that protect you against nearly 90% of the chronic diseases that strike. In old age, after a night of stillness, your blood vessels are stiff, your metabolism is slow, and your brain is foggy. A 20-minute walk loosens the vessels, lowers blood pressure, and primes the heart to push oxygen-rich blood into the brain, joints, and muscles. Sarcopenia, the dangerous loss of muscle mass after 60, accelerates when we sit too much. But studies from the American Geriatric Society show that even short bouts of walking stimulate fast-twitch muscle fibers, preventing the legs from weakening and reducing the risk of falls, fractures, and dependence on walkers. For dementia, the evidence is even more striking. A 2018 neurology study found that seniors who walked briskly at least 3 times per week increased the size of their hippocampus, the brain's memory center, by over 2%, while those who stayed sedentary lost volume and memory year by year. Cancer risk also falls with walking. By lowering insulin resistance, balancing hormones, and enhancing immune surveillance, walking has been linked to reduced rates of colon, breast, and prostate cancers. Now imagine John, a 74-year-old retiree who had creeping cholesterol numbers and constant brain fog. His daughter convinced him to begin with just 10 minutes around the block each morning. Within 3 months, he was walking 25 minutes daily. His doctor reported lower blood pressure, his sleep became deeper, and his senior moments of forgetfulness faded. John's own words were simple. "I didn't need another pill. I just needed to walk." Better tip: to start this habit, commit to consistency over intensity. Begin with 10 minutes at a pace that makes you slightly out of breath, then build toward 20 to 30 minutes daily. Walk outdoors whenever possible to get natural sunlight, which boosts vitamin D and regulates circadian rhythms. Remember, it's not about running marathons. It's about steady, intentional steps that retrain your body and brain to stay resilient after 60. The second daily habit that can transform health after 60 is eating just one handful of berries every single day. It sounds almost too simple: blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, or even blackberries. Yet these small fruits are loaded with anthocyanins and polyphenol, plant chemicals proven to slow aging at the cellular level. For cancer, anthocyanins act like tiny shields, neutralizing free radicals before they can mutate DNA. Research from the American Institute for Cancer Research shows that people who regularly consume berries have lower risks of colon and breast cancers. For sarcopenia, berries do more than fuel your muscles. They reduce the inflammation that eats away at muscle tissue as we age. Studies in the Journal of Cachexia and Sarcopenia Muscle reveal that older adults who consume flavonoid-rich foods like berries maintain stronger grip strength and better walking speed. And when it comes to dementia, the evidence is astonishing. Harvard researchers tracked women over 70 for more than 2 decades and found that those who ate blueberries and strawberries at least twice a week delayed memory decline by more than 2.5 years. Think about that. 2.5 extra years of remembering names, recognizing faces, and living independently. Consider Margaret, a 79-year-old grandmother who used to rely on cookies with her morning tea. When her doctor suggested replacing sweets with a cup of mixed berries, she reluctantly tried it. Within 6 months, not only did her blood sugar improve, but she also noticed sharper focus while reading and less stiffness in her joints. She now calls her daily bowl of berries my medicine that tastes like dessert. Better tip: keep frozen berries in your freezer at all times. They retain almost the same nutrients as fresh ones, and they're available year-round. Aim for 1 cup daily, eaten on their own, stirred into oatmeal, or added to yogurt. Avoid covering them with sugar or cream. Let the natural antioxidants do their work. Over time, this simple ritual can become your most delicious defense against aging diseases. The third daily habit that erases the silent killers after 60 is just 10 minutes of gentle strength training with your own body weight. Unlike the image of sweaty gyms or heavy dumbbells, this is about simple, controlled moves you can do in your living room: standing squats, holding onto a chair, pushing against a wall, or lifting a light resistance band. Sarcopenia, the progressive muscle loss that robs seniors of independence, starts accelerating in the 60s. Left unchecked, it doubles the risk of falls, fractures, and hospital stays. But resistance exercise is the most powerful antidote. A landmark study in the Journal of the American Medical Association showed that older adults who performed resistance training 3 times a week not only gained muscle, but reversed frailty, walking faster and living longer than sedentary peers. For dementia, the impact is profound. When you challenge your muscles, you don't just build strength. You stimulate the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, often called fertilizer for the brain. This chemical literally grows new brain connections, protecting memory and slowing cognitive decline. Even cancer risk falls because stronger muscles act as a glucose sink, absorbing excess sugar from the blood and reducing insulin spikes, one of cancer's favorite fuels. Consider Walter, a 72-year-old who feared losing balance after his wife noticed he was moving slower. His doctor prescribed not medication, but simple wall push-ups and chair squats, 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. Within months, his thighs were steadier, his energy returned, and most surprising to him, his mind felt clearer. "I thought I was training my legs," he said, "but I ended up training my memory." Better tip: start small. Place a sturdy chair in your living room and practice standing up and sitting down 10 times without using your arms. Or stand by a wall and do 10 gentle push-offs. Add just one more repetition every few days. The goal is not bodybuilding, it's building resilience, balance, and independence so your body and brain remain sharp and reliable well into your 80s. The fourth daily habit, underestimated by most seniors yet backed by powerful science, is mindful breathing for just 10 minutes a day. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. You're not eating a superfood, you're not lifting weights, you're not taking a pill, you're simply breathing. But this one ritual calms the hidden inflammation that drives cancer, sarcopenia, and dementia. After 60, the body often lives in a state of low-grade fire, a constant trickle of stress hormones and inflammatory molecules that wear down your heart, blood vessels, and neurons. Every angry thought, every restless night, every piece of bad news pushes the sympathetic nervous system into overdrive. Mindful breathing flips the switch. Studies in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience show that seniors who practiced slow diaphragmatic breathing for 10 minutes daily lowered cortisol, reduced inflammatory markers like CRP, and improved memory test scores within weeks. When you inhale deeply into your belly and exhale slowly, your vagus nerve lights up, sending a signal of safety through your body. This restores digestion, relaxes the heart, and even improves blood flow to the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub. Cancer prevention might sound like an exaggeration, but here's the truth. Chronic stress suppresses immune surveillance, the body's natural cancer policing system. By lowering stress hormones, breathing allows your T cells and NK cells, the immune soldiers, to detect and destroy abnormal cells before they turn into tumors. For muscle loss, stress plays a role too. Elevated cortisol eats away at muscle tissue, accelerating sarcopenia. Calming your body with breath preserves your hard-earned strength. Take Helen, a 76-year-old widow who admitted she spent her mornings worrying about bills and her nights replaying memories of her late husband. Her sleep was broken, her blood pressure high, and her memory fading. Her granddaughter taught her a simple 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Skeptical at first, Helen stuck with it. 2 months later, she reported sleeping through the night. Her doctor cut her blood pressure medication in half, and she felt, in her own words, like my brain was no longer on fire. Better tip: to adopt this habit, carve out just 10 minutes every day, after waking up, before bed, or even in the middle of stress. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe in deeply through your nose. Feel your belly expand, then exhale longer than you inhale. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the rhythm. Think of this not as meditation, but as medicine, free, powerful, and always available. With consistency, you'll notice calmer moods, sharper memory, and a body that feels less inflamed and more alive. The fifth daily habit, often overlooked yet critical after 60, is eating a small serving of fermented foods every day. At first, it may feel old-fashioned, like your grandmother's sauerkraut or a cup of plain kefir. But inside these tangy, living foods is an army of beneficial bacteria that transform the way your body ages. After 60, the gut microbiome, the trillions of microbes living inside you, shrinks in diversity. This loss of good bacteria is linked to weaker immunity, higher cancer risk, chronic inflammation, and even faster muscle loss. A groundbreaking study from Stanford University in 2021 showed that adults who ate just 2 servings of fermented foods daily lowered their overall inflammation markers across the body, including cytokines strongly tied to dementia and cancer. For cancer prevention, these foods help in 2 ways. They produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which strengthen the gut lining and prevent harmful toxins from leaking into the blood, and they boost the immune system's ability to detect and destroy abnormal cells. For sarcopenia, gut bacteria influence how well you absorb protein, calcium, and magnesium, the building blocks of muscle and bone. Seniors with healthier microbiomes show stronger grip strength, faster walking speed, and lower fracture rates. And when it comes to dementia, researchers at UCLA found that probiotics from yogurt improved brain activity in older women, especially in regions tied to memory and emotion. That means a spoonful of kimchi or a cup of kefir could be doing more for your brain than expensive supplements. Consider Edward, an 81-year-old who suffered from constipation, frequent colds, and growing forgetfulness. His daughter introduced him to a simple ritual: half a cup of plain yogurt with berries every morning. Within 3 months, his digestion normalized, he reported fewer colds, and most surprising of all, he started recalling names at his bridge club again. "I thought yogurt was for kids," he laughed, "but it gave me back my memory." Better tip: to make this habit work, choose natural, unsweetened options. Aim for 1 small serving daily, a half cup of kefir, a spoonful of sauerkraut, or a few bites of kimchi. Rotate different foods to diversify your gut bacteria. Avoid sugary yogurts or heavily processed pickles. They cancel out the benefits. Over time, this steady supply of probiotics and enzymes will tune your immune system, preserve your muscles, and guard your brain from decline, all through the power of food that has been healing humans for centuries. The 6th daily habit that can erase the hidden roots of disease after 60 is simply stepping outside for 15 to 20 minutes of natural sunlight each day. It might seem trivial. You open the door, you stand in the light, that's it. But this ritual resets your body's circadian rhythm, fuels your bones with vitamin D, and even recharges your immune system against cancer, sarcopenia, and dementia. After 60, vitamin D deficiency skyrockets because aging skin produces less of it, and we spend more time indoors. Deficiency isn't just about weak bones. It increases the risk of breast and colon cancers, accelerates muscle loss, and has been strongly linked to memory decline. A 2020 study in Alzheimer's and dementia reported that seniors with low vitamin D levels had a 60% higher risk of cognitive decline compared to those with normal levels. Sunlight also synchronizes your circadian rhythm, the body's 24-hour clock that controls hormone release, digestion, and brain repair. Without this rhythm, sleep becomes fragmented, memory processing suffers, and inflammation rises. For sarcopenia, vitamin D acts like a switch for calcium and protein metabolism, allowing muscles to actually use the nutrients you eat. Seniors with higher vitamin D levels show stronger balance and lower fall risk. Cancer prevention also ties back to sunlight. Vitamin D regulates over 200 genes, including those responsible for cell growth and tumor suppression. Low levels weaken the immune system's ability to identify and destroy early abnormal cells. Imagine Clara, a 75-year-old who rarely left the house after retirement. Her bones grew weaker, her sleep fragmented, and her doctor warned of pre-dementia symptoms. When encouraged to start daily morning walks outside, Clara reluctantly began standing on her porch for 20 minutes with her tea. Over 6 months, her vitamin D levels rose. She regained deeper sleep, her bones stabilized, and her mood improved so much that she started joining her neighbors for short strolls. She later told her doctor, "I thought I needed medicine for my memory. What I needed was the sun." Better tip: aim for sunlight before noon, when UV exposure is safer and melatonin regulation is most effective. Expose your face and arms without sunscreen for 15 to 20 minutes, but avoid long, harsh midday sun. If you live in a cloudy climate, consider a vitamin D supplement, but always check your blood levels with your doctor. The key is consistency. Small, daily doses of light keep your circadian rhythm, muscles, and brain aligned, turning sunlight into one of the most powerful medicines against aging. Thank you for staying with us on this journey through 6 daily habits that can reshape life after 60. We've seen how a simple morning walk, a handful of berries, a few minutes of strength training, mindful breathing, a serving of fermented foods, and daily sunlight can collectively guard against cancer, sarcopenia, and dementia. None of these habits require a prescription, a gym membership, or expensive supplements. They are small, consistent choices that build a shield around your body and brain. Aging is not about giving up. It's about tuning into what your body truly needs and using science to stay strong, independent, and clear-minded. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Will you be leaning on a walker, forgetting names, and relying on medications? Or will you be walking with energy, remembering stories, and laughing with family? That future is built not by chance but by what you do each day. Starting today, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 habits will you try first? Maybe it's the morning walk, maybe it's adding berries, or maybe it's simply sitting quietly to breathe. Share your plan in the comments, because your voice inspires others in this community. And if you found real value in today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating content that empowers seniors to live with strength, memory, and vitality. Here's to living well, with passion and purpose every single day.